Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Views. Today I have a beer from Lagunitas Brewing Company out of Petaluma, California. I don't think that I've done a review for any of their beers on here, which doesn't surprise me that much because they're pretty mass distributed. And most of their stuff is good, but I just don't really go out of my way to get it. But this is one of the few that they make that I really, really like, and I think is a really, really good deal. So this is called Willetized Coffee Stout. So it's an imperial stout with coffee aged in Willet rye barrels. And it is, holy crap, I didn't realize it was that big. I thought this was like 11%. It's 12.9. And I can't remember if the first year they were, I think this has always been in 12-ounce bottles. This is the first year they did it in bombers or something. Maybe they normally do both, but then this year they only did bombers, which is kind of unfortunate in my opinion. I mean, I really like it and it's still a really good deal, but you know, I would rather be able to just drink 12 ounces of such a big beer than be committed to 22. But anyways, this bomber was $8.99, so it is a really, really good deal for how good this beer is. I haven't had this year's batch, so I'm really looking forward to it, but I have had it before, and I can't imagine possibly getting a barrel-aged coffee stout that's this good for this price anywhere else. So and this used to be called, it used to be called High Westified Coffee Stout, but Constellation Brands through Ballast Point bought like all of the signed some High West contract, and now like anytime Ballast Point does a barrel-aged beer, they do it in High West barrels. So now they started doing Willet instead. So the first year they did this, it was called High Westified, and then after that, after the Ballast Point thing happened, now it's called Willetized. So let's see what we got in here. I mean, that's pretty much what you want in something like this. You can see it's pretty dark, pretty much jet black with a nice finger and a half worth of a tan head. There's a lot of coffee in this, but it's not like, it's almost more like mocha than like deep dark roasted coffee. I think the bourbon kind of helps, or not the bourbon, it's rye, but the whiskey kind of helps cut the acrid coffee character. I'm basically getting like chocolate coffee and bourbon, which is really nice. Wow, that is hot. I'm not hating on it because I love whiskey, rye, and bourbon. But man, does that taste like whiskey! Holy crap! So I don't remember this beer being that bourbon or that whiskey forward before, but I also don't remember it being like 13%. So I think I don't know if the beer. I doubt that the recipe got changed. They might have just got some particularly wet barrels this year. And it's weird, like, there's almost like a metallic nose, which is not necessarily something that I would want to smell. But I'm not picking it up in the taste, so that's really, all I care about. So The flavor is really, really, really rye forward. So if you like a lightly barrel aged stout, which I'm sure most people don't, if you like barrel aged stuff, you like barrel, but even to that extent, it's really, really barrel forward. It's almost kind of like I'm trying to think because I've done this before. I don't want to say it's just like whiskey that had coffee beans soaked in it because it's not that hot, but the bourbon is probably the rye is probably the strongest taste in the whole drink. It's like hot rye up front, and then really nice, like deep dark roasted coffee, a little bit of dark chocolate. And the roast doesn't seem to be just coming from the coffee. I mean, it seems like the underlying stout is really good too. But it is really, really rye forward. I think what I'm just used to is like most beers that are this barrel forward are also a little bit sweeter than this is, so that seems to like cut the heat a little bit. This is not, I mean, it's a little sweet. Most stouts are a little sweet. But this is not even close to like a pastry stout. It's not even close to Angry Chair. I mean, in my opinion, it's not even close to like Westbrook or I'm trying to think of another example like Cycle or whatever. Like this is not very sweet. It is very, very good, but it'll punch you in the face. To be honest, I just don't remember this being this barrel forward. It is super hot. But it's delicious. It is really, really good. I would say, to me, it kind of tastes more like I've tried to do my own barrel aging with beers where I just poured like a shot into some type of stout. That's kind of what this tastes like more than something that was barrel aged because it's not super nuanced. It's not like, oh, it just tastes like oaky and a little bit of like earthiness from the rye. It tastes like the liquor itself was thrown into the beer. But it's still a really good coffee stout, imperial stout, and I like the liquor flavor that it has. So even if this is a little more expensive, I would say it's a buy because it is really good. But for $8.99 for this huge, gigantic beer that's this tasty, this is absolutely a steal. And this is one that I always tell people, who are like chasing the crazy stuff and whatever, like, just take a break from it. When this comes out, buy this and drink a little bit of this instead of buying like the $30 bottle of some like crazy release, or buy this on top of it, and then you have even more good stuff. But this is definitely a buy for me. Now that I know how hot it is, though, I probably will save this for, if I buy more, I'll probably save it for opening with other people and not drinking it myself. So I might have another beer in between this and the second pour of this, but I'm definitely not having anything else after this. This is a really hefty beer. But I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.